and welcome to another edition of QuaranBean. I honestly don't know what is crazier, that I am making another one of these or that you keep watching them. Either way, here we are, so we might as well make the most of it. I have to throw out some major points to the person who correctly answered last week's question. That was Karina Laurinaitis. For anyone who missed it, the question was, where does the best maple syrup in the world come from? The answer? Well, of course, the great state of New Hampshire. For those of you who guessed Vermont, you are dead to me. Moving on to this week's topic, does anyone feel like watching the Massachusetts economy reopen is a bit like watching paint dry in the rain? All kidding aside, we are starting to see the first glimmers of hope, and over the coming weeks and months, we are all going to be going through the process of defining this term that we are all already sick of hearing about, the new normal. However, before we can do that, the governor has said that all of us business owners are required to provide our staff with mandatory COVID-related training. Therefore, I thought I would help you all out and invite a very special guest on tonight. Please put your hands together and provide a nice warm welcome for the one, the only, Mr. Flat Delsey.
Thank you. Please don't stop. I said please don't stop. All right, first of all, I just want to thank Thick Delsey for inviting me out here tonight. He may be full of hot air, but he has an endless supply of the best maple syrup I've ever tried. In all seriousness, I've been invited here tonight to help you with a very important job. The Honorable Governor Charlie Baker has tasked me with the most critical task to help ensure that all of you are educated on some very important things you should know before you even think about coming back to work. So, let's get right to it. First up, washing your hands. Now, you may think that you know how to do this, but we all secretly know that there are very few professional hand washers out there. So let's take a moment and review the basics. First, wash often. Second, use plenty of soap and water. Third, make sure to wash all parts of your hands and really give it a good scrubbing. I like to imagine I just chopped up jalapenos and I want to make sure that I got everything off before I touch my eyes. You should wash for at least 20 seconds. That's either an entire ABCs or happy birthday twice. Fourth, shut off the faucet using an elbow so as not to touch the faucet with those nice clean hands. Second, personal space, or as everyone is calling it now, social distancing. Either way, you gotta give people space. So how do you know when you are too close? 6 feet is the official number, but unless you plan on going around carrying 2 yardsticks taped together, let me teach you this simple trick that I learned from the great state of Florida. Just stay 1 fully grown American alligator apart from other people. It's really that simple. Alligators not your thing? Well, California is suggesting you stay 8 burritos apart, but personally, I'm more of a taco guy, and I can never remember the conversion ratio from tacos to burritos. Third, we gotta learn how to use a mask. Now, I know what you're thinking. Surely this is something you already know how to do. Wrong again. So here are the official CDC guidelines for wearing a mask properly. 1. You must wash your hands before picking up the mask. 2. Put the mask over your nose, mouth, and chin. That's right, not your ear. 3. Make sure you can breathe. If after fitting the mask you find yourself unable to breathe, don't wait 5 to 10 minutes. Go ahead and remove the mask, as there's a good chance something is wrong. 4. Don't take the mask off in public. This one kind of goes without saying, but let's just be sure. 5. Don't pull the mask down to your neck or up to your forehead. That might seem like the cool thing to do, but you really just defeated the entire purpose because now all the germs that were on your forehead and neck are now mere centimeters from your mouth. 6. Don't touch your face or nose, not over the mask, not under the mask, just leave them alone. 7. Finally ready to take off the mask? Grab the strings, not the mask. If this is a disposal mask, throw it out. If it's a reusable mask, using the strings, fold the corners in half, toss it in the washing machine. And then 8, you guessed it, go wash your hands. Alright, now that you have mastered hand washing, alligator distancing, and proper mask etiquette, let's step it into high gear. Now, I gotta admit, I really think this next part would probably be best done by a medical professional, but hey, they are busy, so the governor asked me to play the part. Well, let's start with self-checkups. Before coming to work each day, take your temp. Got a fever? Guess what? Your ass is staying home. No fever? Great. What about a cough? Shortness of breath? Difficulty breathing? Fever? Chills? Muscle pain? Sore throat? New loss of taste or smell? Got any of those? Guess what? Your ass is staying home. Now, when is it time to call an actual doc? Well, I've been advised to tell you that if you experience any of the following symptoms, to seek professional medical attention, ideally from someone not made of cardboard. trouble breathing, persistent pain or pressure in the chest, new confusion, inability to wake or stay awake, bluish lips or face. And finally, the last thing that I've been asked to share with you are all the conditions that put you at higher risk to contract or suffer a more severe case of COVID. If you have any of the following conditions, my advice, if you're able, stay home. People age 65 years or older, people who live in a nursing home or long-term care facility, people with chronic lung disease or moderate to severe asthma, people who have serious heart conditions, people who are immunocompromised, for example, those undergoing cancer treatment, smokers, bone marrow or organ transplant recipients, individuals with immune deficiencies, individuals with poorly controlled HIV or AIDS, people with severe obesity, a body mass index of 40 or higher, people with diabetes, people with chronic kidney disease or undergoing dialysis, and people with liver disease. And with that, I will turn it back over to Delcy, but before I do, please be sure to follow me on Instagram to keep up with all my hilarious antics. Just search for Flat Delcy.
Thank you, Flat Delcy, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of QuaranBean.